All right, so episode 2 is going to be like how to start a side hustle by us two, because we are going to have a guest here shortly. Got to get in some more information. But this was kind of a last minute decision. We were both really busy this weekend, and I wrote up the outline today right before coming here. And so one thing that we're going to start doing, start every podcast, we're going to do verse of the day. Some scripture involved with our podcast every single day. So to get started, we're going to be reading from Habakkuk 2:14. For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. And I think it's a pretty strong verse, because it's I think the glory of the Lord will never leave the earth for as long as there's water in the sea. That's kind of how I interpret it. A little easier said. That the Lord will always be gloriful, no matter how long this earth is around. And that we need to respect his glory and be in awe of his glory even when we meet him face to face, because there's not a single worldly thing out there that can compare to his glory. There will be no time on earth that mankind also doesn't know of God's glory, and we as followers and disciples need to share that with the world and share his glory and honor him, because he is the reason we're here, and we can talk about this and
when you do things like this, and our topic today is side hustles, and you can't do it on your own, and pretty much you always gotta kind of have that thought in your mind, like all glory to him in everything that you do, because you are nothing without him. So I mean, you talk about side hustles, I do my little golf channel. We got this that we just started, Locked In Podcast. I got like just an extra channel. I do quote unquote fun stuff. Like I'll be just driving down the road and I'll just say, Lord, thank you, because I'm allowed to chase my dreams, and I'm not going to be able to achieve it without you. So you just got to have that in your mind. Like, if you're going to do something, like, you can put in all the effort you want, and like, if you don't got faith in him, like, I mean, you're really nothing. No.
Everything deserves to be given to him. All the glory, we can't walk, talk, speak, go live, record without his gratitude. So I think it's important to give all the glory to him no matter what you do, especially with starting side hustles. Everyone does it for the money, but you have to look at it as you need to better your life, better the lives around you first before you worry about the money. Money is a tool to buy freedom. So so to go on with side hustles, we both have some side hustles that we do. We both have YouTube channels. Locked In, we just started. He's got BV Golf. We do a bunch of golf outings and other types of challenges.
We just dropped a really cool video today. It was a football golf challenge, something I've never seen before. Super authentic idea. So if you guys want to look at all this, it's our YouTube channel should be linked. Well, first of all, those watching on TikTok, our TikTok should be linked in Logan's bio. Go to our TikTok, everything should be linked there, and then on YouTube there's more and more links, so you should be able to find everything if you want to find it. And back to like the golf content, I'm in the entertainment industry. I'm not the greatest golfer yet, so I don't know if people would want to listen to my instructional stuff yet, but I like to have fun with it. I like to try to inspire people. I found it's been a really good way to track my growth as well. Then just starting this too, this is also taking up another big commitment of how I'm spending my time here, but I'm loving this so far, even though it's very small. Not got really too many people on it yet, but I really think it's something that holds us accountable doing this. And then like my other channel I got is just daily vlogs. It's more just kind of like memories and stuff. Like, we took this trip to Minneapolis through my college, through this club, and I recorded it. It's fun to look back at sometimes for memories and stuff. And if you want to talk about your channel now.
Well, I think this is the best side hustle that I've tried to start. Basically because we come here every single week, we film a new video, a new podcast, we go live, and we hold each other accountable to this, because this is something that we're both passionate about. We're both passionate about spreading information, spreading our ideas and our experiences, but also spreading the word of God as we do it, and giving the glory to him, just as our verse said today. I mean, it's not just us here, it's while we did our side hustles, we realized that we can't do it without him. And there's no better way to give glory back than have a podcast and sit down here freely and talk to you guys and ask for your guys' input. And I think it's important just for all of us in the world just to get together, talk about it. I mean, nothing ever is going to get better. Nothing is ever going to progress, or the word's never going to spread if we don't sit down and talk about it and get to know one of each other for who we are as individuals. And I think having this live section on this so-called side hustle we got going on is really important, because you guys may go to my YouTube or the YouTube channel for Locked In and think that we cut certain things out or we don't include things or whatever. Well, there is this is all raw. I mean, no man is perfect, and it's important to understand that, and you guys can see that live, that we aren't perfect, and we're gonna make mistakes and a slip up in the podcast, and you guys will see it live too. So I don't know, there's a lot of tips and tricks that we've learned over the years. We've been doing this for a long time. I think we're pretty knowledgeable in this aspect anyways.
Yeah.
Big thing that we can recommend, or a big thing that we wanted to say, is a lot of questions we get is, should we start or should I start before we know about the topic that we want to chase? And Braedon can answer that. He talks about it all the time.
I want to stress really quickly here, guys. We got some feedback from some of you on the first episode, and what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to tell you how we do things, and then you can use that to maybe relate, and then we'll also tell you what you can do. So going into this, when we started this, posted the first episode, it's now posted on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Arguably the three most biggest podcast platforms out there. And we filmed the first episode, and I told Logan, I have no idea how I'm going to post this. Absolutely no clue. It's in the first episode. It's in there somewhere. And here we are. All three platforms are posted. So, by starting before you know how it kind of holds you accountable in a way. Like, it forces you to learn how to do it and to put in the time you usually wouldn't. But that goes for anything. It goes for YouTube. It goes for, say I want to start, singing, producing your own music. You gotta start somewhere. It's not you're not gonna know everything right away. And I guess for how I'm gonna tell you guys watching, if there's been something you've been thinking on doing, a side hustle, even a new hobby, I guess don't just dive in and don't be afraid, because you're gonna learn as you go. And by starting and investing something into it already, before you actually learn about it, it forces you in a sense to actually learn about it, because you have no choice. And a lot of that too, when you're starting some side hustles, depending on what you're doing, you might get a lot of negative feedback from those kind of in your circle. And that's just because, society's weird these days. It seems like, some people might be great, but a lot of it depends on who you surround yourself with. And you can't be afraid to dive in. You can't care what other people think. For example, my golf channel, when I started, I'm sure there were probably a lot of people who were like, look what Braedon's doing. What was he doing? This isn't anything. I remember when I was 7 years old and I YouTube. No, I don't care. Like, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to I enjoy it. I'm chasing my dreams. I'm having fun with it, and on the side, it's a good way for me to kind of grow my brand, spread the word of God, and maybe get some money on the side too. But I didn't care what other people think, and now if people are thinking about it, if people are thinking negative things about it, that's on them. They're still thinking about my channel. It's not like it's whatever. You gotta kind of build your mental strength a little bit. I don't know if Logan has anything to say about that, but I know we were talking about it before about not caring what other people think. But
I think it's just really important to trust in the Lord. Trust His path. If you guys feel a calling to go do something, start a podcast, start a YouTube channel, start a factory or whatever it may be, anything that you want to do, I highly suggest just to trust the plans that the Lord is showing you. I mean, he puts certain things, certain people, certain objects in your life for a certain reason. And we just have to open up, see what he's trying to share to us, and more importantly, follow what he's trying to do. So at the end of the day, that's my biggest advice. I grew up in a Christian school my whole life, and this is kind of something that I've been doing my whole life. And anyone that went to school with me that is watching or is either in the live or watching on TikTok, YouTube, or whatever afterward, they know that I've had a YouTube channel for a long time. And I used to get made fun of quite a bit, but that's all right. But now that I'm older, I've realized that it really feels like a calling to me to come out there, spread the word, and show you guys that it's not just one person on his own in this world. No. It's all of us together, helping each other day by day, week by week. So,
and I just want to take a chance to say here, like, if you're those of you who may be younger listeners, I'm 20 years old now. Logan, you're 20. You're 20, yeah. Really, the older you get, you kind of, at least what I've realized, I think Logan can attest to this, is like you kind of start to not really care what other people think anyway, because y'all kind of mature. Other people mature who are talking bad about you, whatever. It just kind of becomes a thing, I guess. Before I forget, it looks like Harley Lynn 2 commented on the TikTok Philippians 4:13, and I just looked it up. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. That's exactly what we were just talking about right there. So it's not like we're just saying it, guys. This is in the Bible right here. It's there. You can look it up yourself. And
I really like the question user had asked. He doesn't have an actual name, but he asked if I tolerate or we tolerate and get along with followers of other religions, and I say yes, because it's important to. I am not better than anyone. Neither is he. We all have different walks through life, and I think it's important to understand, learn where they grew up, where they came from, what types of messages they've heard. And it's important to study all religion, no matter who you are. Get out there, study religion. Because I follow Christianity because the Bible is the physical eyewitness account of Jesus' birth and death in the New Testament. It has the physical eyewitness account by 12 disciples of Jesus, and some of them didn't speak the same language. Now, Jesus had prophesied fulfilled prophecies, over 3,000 of them from the Old Testament, which that Old Testament was written 400 years before Jesus' birth, and many books, thousands before that. So, in my eyes, it would, and there's studies about this, it would take millions of years for me or Braedon to fulfill every prophecy in the entire Bible. But it took Jesus half a lifetime. So, that's why I think it's very important to look at it as a history book, in my perspective, when I'm choosing a religion, or when you're choosing a religion, to look at the eyewitness physical history account that the Bible gives you, and the artifacts that have been found that date back to Bible times and show that the Egyptians were real, and everything else that comes along with it.
So I want to kind of pivot a little bit here, and draw that connection to faith and into side hustles and stuff. And when you're being faithful, I feel like you can kind of draw it, because if we're being real, a lot of people in society, you can say, don't have a side hustle, don't chase their dreams because they're afraid to, and there's this saying in here from in our little outline from is it Donna or Dana?
Dana. It's
Dana.
Yep.
Dana White. It says you must be a little bit of a savage in this world to exceed. It'll never come easy, and you must make sacrifices to get there. Logan and I, we're just normal humans, normal human beings, and we're doing all this extra stuff, and we can't. Time is a very limited factor, especially because we both work full-time jobs. or he works full time in general. He does HVAC, and I'm doing summer help right now for this lumber yard. I'm driving truck, and I mean working 45 hours. I mean, how many hours do you work last week?
A lot, more than I can count.
Yeah, a lot of hours. Like time is very limited, and you gotta make sure you're spending it wisely. And to do that, something has to sacrifice. Like say you play a lot of video games and you want to make a YouTube channel and try to learn editing and stuff. Well, you gotta sacrifice some of your time playing video games to learn it, because time is not unlimited, because you only have so much time every day, and if you got only the people who are the most dedicated are gonna make it. And also though, you gotta make sure you believe in yourself, and I think that's what that little bit savage means, because some people, when they start a side hustle, they're like, oh, what are you doing? You know, what do you think, where is this gonna take you? But like at the start, obviously you don't got the knowledge, you don't got nothing to take you anywhere, but you gotta be crazy enough to think that you're gonna learn it, or you either have it. And if you have that thought and you work hard, you're going to improve. It's depending on how long you stay dedicated, how much you improve, how much you're trusting the process, how much faith you have in the Lord. All that factors into it. And at the end of the day, it's just consistency. And it's consistency and how far you're supposed to take it. So I don't know, that's kind of like my take on that. Like I feel a lot of people who might be doing a side hustle are just doing it and going through the motion. Like you gotta do it and like actually think like, hey, like I got this shit. Like this is, I got this. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel about my golf YouTube. Like I only got like 260 subscribers right now. Like what says I can make it? Well, I'm gonna stay consistent. I believe in myself. I know some close people around me believe in me, and that's really kind of the mindset you gotta have. It's, you gotta be all in on this.
You literally cannot succeed if you sit around waiting for the day for your dreams to come and get you. You have to chase your dreams every single day, no matter how hard it, or how bad it hurts, or how bad you don't want to do it. You need to get up in the morning and kick the day in the rear end. Like there's no going around it. I mean, if you want to be successful, if you want to be physically fit, mentally fit, you know, you want to have money, you know, whatever, you need to get up, chase your dreams every single day, no matter if you want to or you don't want to. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to do it for you, and no one's going to care if you fail. Like, people want to see you fail. People would rather see you work a 9 to 5 every single day until you're 65 years old and you waste your entire life doing something that you hate. Okay, people want to see you do that. Okay, because it makes companies money when you do that. But why not get up every single day, push yourself, grind, don't stop, and take the sacrifices when you're young, so that when you're 30, 40 years old, you can tell your wife and your kids and your family they don't need to work no more, because you got it under control. You bought them a house, you bought them the things they need, and you can provide for them for the rest of your life. And you have generational wealth that your kids might not have to work as hard. Or, you know, if you die young in an accident, your family doesn't have to worry about where their next paycheck's going to come from to keep their house, to keep the kids, to keep food on the table. So it's important to wake up every day as if it was your last. If this is the last day that you have on earth, because none of us know when we're going to die. We all have a time stamp somewhere, okay? And we don't know when. Could be tonight, could be tomorrow, could be 60 years from now. But none of us know when that day is coming. So it is very important to wake up like it's your last day and do everything that you want to do with your life today. Get it done. Get up, get work, and get done. Okay? Because when you die, what are you going to leave behind? What are you leaving behind? If you want to leave a name for yourself, you need to get up and show someone that your name is worth saying after you die. Like, it's so important to leave a legacy for your last name, and to show the world that you're not just another blob of flesh that's worth nothing besides a government workhorse. So that's kind of how I look at it, and that's going back to Dana White saying you need to be a little bit of a savage. But it's important that we never stop. We always reach for the top. That's really the biggest thing. That's how I look at it.
No, I agree with you. I want to stress So our podcast is Locked In Podcast, and that's what we're doing. I see someone commented, what is this? We do a podcast. This is just a live thing. It's going to be, the recording is going to be posted on podcast platforms, but
you want me to check that?
Yeah, he's just checking the camera. We had if you watch our first episode, it cut out after 30 minutes. We good?
Yeah. So we don't want that to happen again today.
Yeah. So this is a Locked In Podcast, and everybody's kind of point of view is it's going to be a little bit different. I guess how they, how they're locked in themselves. This episode's how to start a side hustle. Now, a side hustle might not always be, a YouTube channel or like a business. It can be something just as simple as something that you're spending time in, you're investing time in to better yourself.
Like getting fit.
To better yourself. It could be lifting and stuff like that, because I know plenty of people who work 9-to-5 jobs who are extremely happy. Mm-hmm. And if you're happy, that's what matters in life. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean you can't be working towards getting fit in the gym or starting a diet and trying to better yourself. So that's kind of what we say. There's many different versions of a side hustle. Those people, what Logan was saying earlier, how you don't want to waste your life doing 9-to-5s. That kind of applies to those people who want to kind of take that next step, whether they're doing the YouTube channel, whether they want to start their own business or something like that. If you don't chase your dreams, you're going to spend your whole life helping other people chase their dreams. Mm-hmm. Because if you work for a company, you're helping the owner of the company chase their dreams. Mm-hmm. So that's how that works.
That owner woke up one day and had enough with working a 9-to-5. And he built a company that you now work for, and every day you show up to work, you make him more money. You get him closer to his dreams. And you might be getting paid, you might be getting paid good, but at the end of the day, the boss is getting paid way better. Way better, okay? So if you want to make the money that your boss is making, or whatever, and I want to strongly emphasize, okay, well, I want to strongly say, anyway, that money is the root of all evil if you allow it to be, okay? Money, I always say money is a tool to buy you freedom, okay? Because at the end of the day, money doesn't mean anything. You can't take money to the grave with you. Money doesn't come with you after you die. So at the end of the day, in this world, money means nothing. But if you want to be free, see the world, travel the world, provide for your family every single day, money is a tool to get you that. But it is very important to never lose sight of the Lord and make sure that you are giving him the recognition that he deserves for getting you to where you are in life. Because it wasn't your doing, it was his. You wouldn't be there if it wasn't for him and the gifts that he had given you, and you need to make sure that you're honoring him in that way. And I think it's just very, very important to realize that.
Well, it's very important to stay focused, because I feel a lot of times people can get distracted because the devil is in this world. Mm-hmm. As well as the Lord, but there's those energies and the influence on people, and the people who the devil target the most are the people with the most following, because that's how he can express himself the most. So you gotta make sure you're staying true to yourself, close to the Lord, because the devil's gonna try to interfere with that. He's gonna try to be the bump in that path. He's gonna try to, tip you down and take you down a dark path. Because that's, whether you realize it or not, there's those energies in the world we live in. Mm-hmm. That's
like Braedon's saying, with me and him, it's very important that me and him contact each other. We text each other every single day, mm-hmm. and we hold each other accountable, and we make sure we're on the right path in life. And we make sure that we're grinding and we're locked in, because we know we both have temptations all the time not to get up, not to work, not to edit the video, not to post the video, not to post a TikTok, whatever. But we keep on each other, because that is what drives us. And it's important to have those people in your life that keep you away from the devil, that keep you off the devil's path, that keep you from leading down tempted mm-hmm. roads. So it's important to find someone like that in your life, for sure. And I would almost guarantee Braedon agrees with that.
No, 100%. 100%. Well, so, I mean, I can draw a line straight to what you just said. I mean, I forget how long ago it was, but I remember I sent you on Snapchat a text, and I'm like, I had doubt with the YouTube channel and my golf. I'm like, man, like, I'm putting all this in and like, I'm not getting anything out. And Logan said, word for word, don't you dare ever talk to me about quitting again. Mm-hmm. Because he's like, you've come way too far. Just stop now. And that's a lot of people. They put in some work and they want the results right away. And some of them are going to get them. Some of them will get them. But you got to make sure you're staying persistent, because a lot of people would be famous on YouTube right now. A lot of people would be millionaires right now if they just kept going. Mm-hmm. If they just kept going. And you got to make sure you're going through those days when you don't feel like it. There's going to be doubt. I doubt YouTube all the time. I have doubt all the time. But I mean, if you listen to all the other YouTubers who make it, all the big ones, they say the same stuff. Mm-hmm. And
you will never get there if you quit.
No.
Ever. No. You will not succeed if you quit.
No.
And anyone that is famous will tell you that. Kobe, Shaq, David Goggins, any of them. None of them quit, and look at where they are. And it is impossible to fail if you do not quit. It is impossible to fail if you don't quit. Because, like Braedon and I tell each other all the time, you can pour in. At some point, no matter how big your cup is, it's going to overflow. Mm-hmm. You can continuously pour water into a cup. Braedon and I don't know how big our cup is, and we never will know how big our cup is. But we can continuously pour water in here every single day. Every day we choose to get up and work towards this dream. And one day it's going to overflow. And we're going to be able to help people all around the world, show people the love and the glory of God, and do what we dream every single day.
And that could be tomorrow, that could be 5 years from now, we don't know.
Yep.
There's this one thing, this saying, I'm blanking on who says it, but you know, some people put in a little work and expect all the result, but then the people who work the hardest put in a lot of work and are worried if they're not working hard enough. Mm-hmm.
Kobe Bryant is a great example of that. He was terrified of not being good enough. And that man worked harder than everyone in the entire NBA league. And he just displays hard work and work effort so good, because there were times where Kobe would get done with practice and he would stay for hours after the practice by himself in the dark arena and just shoot. And if you cannot work without looking at the clock, you will never succeed. If you are always looking at the clock, you will never succeed, because you need to be able to work without seeing how many hours you've put in. You need to be able to work 80 hours a week if that's what it takes, 90 hours a week, because some of us might have to work harder than others, okay? Some people get famous overnight, and it happens all the time, and I get that. But for Braedon and I, we have never gotten famous overnight. But what are we doing? Here, sitting here, in front of 5 live viewers, and I don't even know how many viewers our YouTube podcast is going to get, but we love it. We love talking to you guys. The 5 of you guys that are here, we very much appreciate it. We appreciate every like that we get, every comment we get, every piece of feedback we get, because it's something that we are so passionate about that it doesn't matter how many people see it. But if I can change, if Braedon or I can change one life in this podcast, one life on his golf channel, one life on anything, that means more to me than 100,000 viewers. Because if I can change one life and make it a better life and get them in the gym, get them financially stronger, get them to God, that's what means more to me than being famous or making $1 million. Mm-hmm.
No, life is too short to not strive to live it in your best way, and to live it in the best way. Is the camera still going? Mm-hmm. To live it in the best way, you gotta have a unique lifestyle, because a lot of people in today's society don't live it the right way, and a lot of people are not guiding you towards the right way or not making you the best version of yourself. And at the end of the day, you just gotta be like, look, who am I surrounding myself with? Am I surrounding myself with people who are gonna make me the best version of myself? After you answer that question, you'll be like, okay, what does the best version of myself look like? What do I want to do? How am I going to be happy? How am I going to inspire other people? And once you kind of start to reflect on what that version of you is going to look like, you're going to be there. Or you're going to start to be there. And I saw this one TikTok years ago. It was like this guy, he's like, you know, one of my biggest fears is getting to heaven and you know, Jesus showing you, hey, you're in heaven, and he shows you a whole other image. And this person is what you could have been. And the guy said his biggest fear was that person, that image that Jesus shows him, he knows nothing about him. And life is too short, like I said, to not try to live it the best way. So how do you do that? You have one good day. After you have one good day, you wake up tomorrow, you have another good day. You wake up after that day, another good day. You keep stacking good days on each other, and all of a sudden, you stack a week's worth, you're like a completely different person than you were at the start of the week. It's like weightlifting though. Like when you weightlift, you go for a week, you're not going to be just jacked right away.
No.
It's going to take consistency over time, and all of a sudden, you stay consistent for 2 years, you look back at what you were when you started, you're like, holy smokes, like, I made some pretty big changes here for the better. So that's really, where consistency falls into play there. Consistency is everything. It is literally everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I challenge you guys, I heard this today. It is not from me, it is from a preacher. I heard him say that religion judges from the outside. Okay, it judges people from the outside, but Jesus works from the inside. And who are Braedon and I to tell you guys what your life is like, or that you follow the wrong religion? Because it's not our job. It is your job to ask Jesus, ask the Holy Spirit for his help, and he will guide you from the inside. We can only tell you the things that we know, that we've learned, that we've understood. But we can direct you toward the right path, but we cannot take you down the right path. There's only one person that can take you down the right path, and that's Jesus. And I think that's very important to understand that a lot of religious people, and a lot of the reason why people don't like religion, is because churches and in some cases Christians will judge people by the looks and appearances of others. And I think that's very dangerous, because who are we to judge? Because we are also sinful humans. And I think it is important to only allow Jesus to be the final judgment. And I just think that just gives Christians a bad rap, and I think that's why a lot of people don't like them. But I think that the only way to go down the right path is trust the Lord, ask him to guide you down the right path, help you and walk you safely down the right path. Don't let a human tell you what you can and cannot do, because you are trying to get into Christianity as well. Like, everyone takes their own pace into learning Christianity. And the only person that's going to know where you are at your spiritual walk is Jesus. And he's the only one that can judge that. Braedon and I cannot sit here and say, you're not doing good enough. You're not trying hard enough at trying to convert yourself, because that's not our role. Our role is to give you the word, share our insights, share our life, and guide you to the Holy Spirit. But you, at the end of the day, have to invite him into you. Ask him to be in your heart. So I just think that's really important at the end of the day, to go along with everything that we've said.
Yeah. Well, I think that kind of wraps up a lot of stuff we wanted to talk about today. But I want to start adding this little call to action to the podcasts and the episodes and stuff. And we talked about side hustles today, and part of this podcast is holding you guys watching accountable. So whether you have a side hustle already, it's great if you do. Leave in the comment section below what that side hustle is, and if you don't have a side hustle yet, take a week just to kind of deeply think about what you want to do, and make sure it's something that you're going to enjoy and that it's sustainable. And then once you decide what that is, once you get started, come back to this video, comment down below and let us know what your ideas are. And also, you guys go down in the comment section to see someone comment, reply to it. Let them know what you think. If you know something about the field, give them any help you can, because that's the community we want to grow here.
Yeah, we want to grow a community that holds each other accountable, that helps each other out, that works every day with each other. We don't want to be another one of them famous YouTube podcast gigs that block all you guys out, don't help you, promise you a certain lifestyle and don't give it to you. We want to show you that we're the real deal, and we want to see you guys succeed just as bad as we want to succeed. And it's important that if you guys do like this podcast and you guys are watching live, go to my bio, click onto my profile, go to my bio, click that Locked In Podcast and hit the follow button. You'll see all the clips. I post daily clips on there. Braedon when he goes in, he cuts a bunch of clips out from the actual YouTube portion, sends them to me, and I make daily uploads on Instagram and TikTok so that you guys can watch them every single day. So and that just gives you guys a little moral boost in the middle of the day. You guys are going through something, go to the Locked In Podcast, watch one of the videos. It'll boost your morals. So especially one thing that we will be doing is posting verses on there, so that you guys can go there, and if you guys are struggling, you guys can go listen to some scripture to get you through the day.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you guys all for watching, for taking the time out of your day to make sure you're staying locked in. Like I said, comment down below. We want to build a strong, helpful community here, and we got some big aspirations. We got some guests that are going to be making some appearances here, so stay tuned for that.
Some big guests.
Some really big guests
that are going to get some pretty juicy conversations flowing.
So stay tuned for that. Keep coming back to hold yourselves accountable. Stay locked in.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys. Peace out.